Today we're going to do a microphone review again, and this time it's the Vanguard Audio V44S. I've been dying to do this review ever since I first saw the microphone at NAMM in Nashville 2018 or 19. They really caught my eye with their really good build quality and everything, and I've been looking for a stereo microphone to use as drum overheads. When I got this microphone, I realized it can do so much more than just regular stereo miking. Since you have two capsules where you can turn the angle between them, you can point them both in the same direction or up to 120 degrees apart. So you can get really wide stereo if you do an XY stereo setup. But the two capsules also have individual settings for polar patterns, which makes it an incredible tool for finding the correct tone for whatever you're recording. We're going to try it today on drums, guitar, and bass, and I'm going to show you some tricks that you can do with switching and blending the different polar patterns. I have a friend coming over, Patrik, who also plays drums in Burst and Anatomy 71. Incredible drummer, so we're going to have a bit more fun today. I put the microphone on a guitar cab out here, a Marshall 4x12 with blackbacks. I put it now in the regular cardioid mode, and I'm only using one capsule, and we put it in between where the dust cap meets the cone, which is usually a good starting point for a sweet spot. Since none of my guitars are in good working condition at the time, I borrowed this Ibanez from the guitarist of Crawl. Thank you so much, Martin, for letting me borrow it. So here we have a regular cardioid in the sweet spot between the dust cap and the cone. Just to show you a creative way that we can use this microphone that has dual capsules, I'm going to put one capsule into figure of 8 and one into Omni, and compare a little bit how it would sound if we compare those instead of just using one of the capsules in cardioid. On the particular speaker that I'm playing through now, if you put the middle between the top and bottom capsule in the middle of the dust cone, the two capsules would end up at each side of the speaker cone. So both are practically in sweet spot. It doesn't sound 100% the same if you put both in cardioid, but it's close enough. Now we have the main figure of 8 and Omni, and we're going to try to combine those and see what we get. So first here we have the one in Omni. The one in figure of 8, and you hear a big difference. This is much more beefy and dark. And let's see what we get if we combine them. I'm going to try to level match it as good as possible here. That's pretty cool. So with this, you basically have endless options to create different tones. And the good thing here is that the capsules are like right where they're supposed to be. So it's always in phase, as long as you don't tilt the microphone back and forth. As long as you have it straight up, you have them in phase. You can switch the polar patterns to create different tonal combinations. And you can also move the mic around. I will keep it like this because it's going to be too long video if I'm going to show you all the possibilities here. So the next thing we're going to have a look at is drum recording. We're just going to use this as an overhead. I'm going to show you a little bit what happens when you switch between figure of 8 and cardioid when you do an XY stereo miking. The figure of 8 will be what you call a bloom line. It's actually one of my favorite recording styles right now for overheads. Both sounds really good. You get a little difference in stereo spread and roominess. And it's just a matter of taste. They both sound really, really good, to be honest. Just because I'm used to record overheads here with the Bloomline ribbon microphone, I'm gravitating towards the Bloomline. I really like the stereo width and the separation between left and right. Sounds a little bit bigger to me. But I also want to try the MS stereo thing that is on this mic. Plug the microphone into the input of the box that you get with the mic, and on the back side you have the bottom mic, that is the mid, and then you have the two tops, which of one is polarity reversed. So if you record on 3 tracks with this and pan these two hard left and right, then you have it in mid side just out of the box. You don't have to do any processing after. Okay, so that's pretty obviously a lot softer in the cymbals, not as harsh.
Yeah.
And the snare gets really in your face because of the mono mic that is pointed just right on the snare, basically. Because the other ones that are in XY, they are pointing to the sides, and you have the snare in the middle. And here you have a mono mic straight on the snare.
Yeah.
So you get a really good punch there. The drum kit as a whole sounds good, but I think you need a kick drum mic to it, and also the room mics that I usually use when recording full drums. I think that would help in this situation because I think the mic itself, the Vanguard stereo mic, sounds really, really good as a overhead, and in this case almost works as an only microphone to pick up the whole drum kit. Let's try to add a kick drum mic and room mics and see what happens. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds big. It's like arena big.
My only concern would maybe be that the toms would be a bit hidden if you put a lot of guitars and bass on this.
Yeah.
The snare pokes out really, really good. Also, since you have a snare, it sounds good.
Yeah.
So in this particular case, when using only the Vanguard stereo mic as an overhead and no closed mics on the drums, I really prefer the mid-side stereo recording. You get a lot of the snare. Cymbals are a lot softer and sounds more mix ready. With the kick drum mic and the room mics, it just sounds really, really good. Yeah, so let's start playing the guitar. I realized now when I'm starting to record the guitar that I didn't really like the sound we had before with the Marshall amp, so I switched out for the PV Classic. And yeah, let's go. Unfortunately, I don't have any bass guitar here that can tune that low in a good way. So I just did it anyway. I recorded the bass with the Vanguard microphone. I'm not gonna demo it in solo because it didn't sound very good, and it's not the microphone's fault, it's the bass's fault. I couldn't get any dangle out of the bass, so it's just pure distortion just to fill out the low end a bit. But yeah, it sounds okay, so we'll go with that. I'm thinking I'm gonna do a really quick mix of what we have here and see if we can make it work as a full recording. No vocals this time, but drums, guitar, and bass. That's the foundation of every good song, right? So let's see what we have. Okay, let's give it a listen. Let me know in the comments. Do you hate it? Do you love it? Anything you think could have been done differently with this particular setup? This might actually make me use MS for overheads in the future. I'm not sure. I never heard an MS stereo sound this good before, to be honest. I've tried it before with different microphones. It's hard to get it set up in a perfect way, maybe. But here you have it in the microphone. You have everything where it's supposed to be in phase. Also the exact same capsules. You have no differences in how they react. Really impressed. Well done. We're getting to the end of the video, so I want to thank you so much for sticking to the end. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions on other applications where you want me to try out this microphone, if you want to help me out, please hit the like button. That really helps within the world of YouTube. Comments, as I said. Subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, see you next time. Bye bye. Cheers.